Talking, testing, testing out. Alright, I'm still picking up notes, but just let me know when we're ready
NCAA and USA South Athletic Conference promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, or sexist comments, or intimidating actions directly.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Knight Stadium for tonight's Division III NCAA women's soccer match between the Honey Badgers of Hollins University and your Southern Virginia University Knights. I am Dawson Weidrich, and I'll be joining you in the action of tonight's matchup. Should be an exciting game as these two teams are very young to their new season of 2022. It's a new sports season in general. We at Southern Virginia University and just all across the nation as well are just super excited for sports to be starting up again. You'll find husbands on their TVs for the next couple of months as they watch either football, later on that basketball. We got all that at Southern Virginia University as well. And it's going to be a very exciting time. Beautiful evening here at Knight Stadium. It's going to be a fantastic time as both teams are lining up. We shall have the national anthem here very shortly, and we will duck out for that and we'll return when that is over.
Coaches for all the preparation and time they put into preparing for this. They will all play to the best of their abilities, and no harm or accident will come upon them as well. We're so very good for doing all the blessings we have. We love you, Father, and we ask this prayer in the name of our Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. And now for your starting lineups. Starting tonight for Hollins. At forward, number 4, Izzy Work.
All right, and with that, we will get to the starting lineups of both teams for this evening. We've got a bunch of young players for both teams here.
At defender, number 24, Sam Farrer. And in goal for Hollins, number 1, Kat Busani. Hollins is coached by Kat Van Orden and assisted by Denny Payne. Now starting for your Knights. At midfielder, number 2, Courtney Montez. At defender, number 4.
Here we'll have the Knights being announced again. A lot of incoming freshmen this year, much is the case with a lot of Division III schools with a lot of young talent coming in, a lot of players really excited to get their first taste of college sports and athletics, especially here at Southern Virginia University.
At midfielder, number 17, Mabel Harris. At midfielder, at forward, number 19, McKenna Winterton. At defender, number 28, Annalise Huber. At midfielder, number 35, Lindsay Clausen. And in goal for the Knights, number 1, Olivia Neal. The Knights are coached by Rob Dahl and assisted by Eric Dahl and Jacob Solid. Now, if you all please rise and face the flag for the playing of our nation's national anthem.
Now have the national anthem. All right, folks, we're excited to get back to the action here at Southern Virginia University. One thing I want to point out is the fact that, like I mentioned before, absolutely beautiful weather here tonight at Southern Virginia University. You may have been a little disappointed by the lack of wind on the flag there, but the players are definitely not complaining about that whatsoever. This is an ideal night for soccer. They're down there just ready to go. And it's always great just to have an evening that's not hindered by weather whatsoever. We also got a lot of student athletes here from other teams at Southern Virginia University in attendance tonight here in the stands, cheering on their classmates, their friends, and it's just going to be a very exciting night here, folks. We have the team captains lining up near the center of the field. An interesting thing for Hollins University, they actually have a first-time head coach here tonight, Kat Van Orden. Kat Van Orden is in her first ever season as head coach of the soccer team for Hollins University. In fact, she's recently graduated from Roanoke College, where she played soccer herself from the Maroons. And so she's had a very, very good collegiate career in the Roanoke area, and now she's able to coach here at Hollins University. And it's always nice to see players immediately after their playing career able to adapt to the coaching role so easily. And you know that the university has a lot of confidence in her. They're very excited about her talent and ability that she brings to the team. And on Southern Virginia's side, you have Coach Rob Dahl, who has been the head coach of the women's soccer team since April of 2019. And he's done a great job of establishing a great culture here on this soccer team. The players really trust him as a coach, and the coaching staff. It's just a great environment to be around as all players are getting onto the field, getting ready for tonight's action. And Hollins University will start off with the ball. So early on, Southern Virginia will have to test their defensive strength. And there we go. Hollins is getting everything set it up, get it behind themselves. Got an aggressive defense going on here from Southern Virginia's number 19. We want to make sure we get the name right in that, of course. Would be McKenna Winterton. McKenna Winterton has been with Southern Virginia for the past couple of years. I've commentated several games where she has been on the Southern Virginia roster, and she's always brought that great energy defensively. And that's going to get kicked out of bounds. That'll stay with Hollins University. And it's number 1, Kat Busani, who will be playing goalkeeper. She is a junior from San Bruno, California. And that's taken away by Southern Virginia. Now, one thing that Southern Virginia has struggled with in the past is capitalizing on opportunities like this, where they get the ball back, they get deep into their territory, and much like in that situation, Kat Busani able to get a good save there. Hollins so far struggling to get it out of their side of the field. Winterton's got the angle here, and it's just left to the outside. A good attempt there, and that's a good sign for Southern Virginia. You're getting to the net quickly, making sure you establish yourself as a scoring threat. Make sure that the other team knows you're there to score. You're there to work. Taken away by Southern Virginia yet again. That was Maybell Harris that took that away. Busani able to handle that very easily. As a strong punt there, finally gets it into Southern Virginia's side of the field. Good cross-field passing here. Handling it now is number 7, Mattia Murray. A lot of great passing from Southern Virginia. I said it before and I'll say it again. Just doing a great job at establishing a rhythm. That's Winterton again with it. Got a one-on-one the goalie. That kick is a little too high out into the dirt road. A good attempt nonetheless. Again, getting to the net early and often, wearing down that defense of Hollins University, and that's going to pay dividends later on. Winterton was attempting to get it out to number 9. That is Ella Thomas. Actually, excuse me, number 7, Mattia Murray on the outside, but not able to get it to her. Kicked out to Murray on the near side. She was cornered defensively on that one. Got an attempt, and that is a goal. That is scored. Looks like that is number 10 for Southern Virginia. And that is Morgan Romney for the score. So very early on, with just 40 minutes and 50 seconds left to play in this first half, we got a score for Southern Virginia. Again, some great energetic work here offensively for Southern Virginia. Great passing going around. You got just a great energy overall. And this is the replay here of Morgan Romney getting that goal. And as a commentator, I can't tell you how exciting it is that we have replay here at Southern Virginia University. Get to reanalyze the great plays that happen here on the field. As a longtime commentator here at Southern Virginia, that's just exciting to see. We got Winterton here. Kicks across field, easily handled by Hollins University. Again, Kat Busani getting a lot of work in early on in today's game. That was Zoe Simotas trying to handle that. Winterton in there yet again. Good save by Busani. Murray jumps in there. And Winterton going to try again, another stop from Busani, and that ball goes over the net. I have a sneaking suspicion that I'm going to be saying Winterton's name quite often today's game because, again, just the amount of energy that she is bringing and the attacks she's had on goal. It's been very, very impressive so far. So a corner kick here for Southern Virginia. And that is just off the left side. Looks like that came off the foot of number 2. That is Courtney Montes, a freshman from El Paso, Texas. Got another attack here for Southern Virginia. And that was an attempt right there. That was blocked pretty easily. An attempt from Lindsay Clausen, but of course it did not feel easy. That was again blocked by number 17 for Hollins. That being Zoe Simotas. I tell you, Southern Virginia is just doing a great job of swarming whenever Hollins gets control of the ball at all. Winterton crossfield kick. A beautiful pass and a beautiful goal from number 35, Lindsay Clausen. The pass from Winterton and the execution from Clausen was absolutely perfect. You cannot drop a more perfect situation for a play in soccer, folks. You just absolutely cannot. That is the dream type of play. Crossfield pass, kick it right in. Just beautifully done from Southern Virginia, and that gives them an early 2-0 lead. And again, as you see, Winterton with just a beautiful crossfield pass to Clausen. I mean, again, that is just perfection. Very well executed. You know they've run through that so many times in practice. And that's got to put a smile on head coach Rob Dahl's face. There you're seeing some swarming by Hollins University as well. You got Winterton here kicking out to the outside to Mabel Harris. Winterton going for it again. Another attempt, that one just a little too high. Busani kicks that out. That was intended for number 5, Jasmine Fitzgerald, the freshman from Jamestown, North Carolina. Harris's pass goes a little bit too far. That is intercepted by number 24, Samantha Ferrer. And that is taken away by Southern Virginia. And just barely kept in bounds from number 7, Mattia Murray. And then it'll go out of bounds. It'll go back to Hollins University. Now, the main benefit you're going to see from this, as far as all the offensive attacks from Southern Virginia University, is that if you know anything about any sport whatsoever, you know that defense is the most difficult thing to do in any sport. It is the most tiring, it's the most exhausting, it's most physically draining. And so if Hollins is forced to continually play defense all night long, it's going to wear them out very quickly and open up some more opportunities for Southern Virginia. So they got to figure out a way to turn the tide and make it to where they are on the offensive and they can save some energy in that department. Great pass in the middle, and that is a nice save from Busani. But that is kicked in by number 7, Mattia Murray. She came in last second. Looks like they are not going to count it. And so Busani will be kicking it out. Some great hustle from Murray, though. The freshman from Saratoga Springs, Utah. Courtney Montez was trying to set up the offense here. Rachel Bodkin brings it to the near side corner. Tries a crossfield pass, but easily handled from Busani. She was not going to be fooled on that one again. Lindsay Clausen wisely kicked it back to try to set things up yet again on the far side now. And that was Mabel Harris who was tripped up on that one. And that will reward Southern Virginia a free kick opportunity. And that is not going to be successful. Yeah, Winterton trying to use her head on that one. It didn't come off at quite the angle that she wanted, and Murray was right there. But it'll go back to Hollins. Southern Virginia back with it. That is number 9, Ella Thomas, who had that one. It's back to Thomas. Harris in the corner doing some great one-on-one footwork. Busani with 2 straight saves. And that'll be another goal, I believe. They may not count that one either. In fact, they do. They will count it as a goal for Southern Virginia. That makes the score 3-0, despite the best efforts of Busani, who really stood in there quite strongly. I mean, blocking 2 straight attempts. Fantastic work from the Knights. And that was Murray, of course, getting in there, getting the tap in. And so it'll go back to Hollins. And they find themselves in a very early on hole, down 3-0. And they've barely had the ball in possession in Southern Virginia's territory all night long so far in the first moments of this game. And they look to change that here. Kicked just a little too far there for number 35, Lindsey Clausen, the freshman from Oceanside, California. And one thing I always love to point out when commentating for Southern Virginia University is just the different locations that all these players are from. You have players from California, you have players from Nevada, Utah, Arizona. I mean, you have them all over the place. Kentucky, Kansas, Virginia, here in Virginia. And so it creates a very interesting environment with the team when you have to bring all these different people from different walks of life, different locations around the country, and you have to bring them together to form a team and to play as well as they have so far early on. I'd say that Southern Virginia and Coach Rob Dahl have done a pretty good job of that. That'll be kicked out of bounds. That'll go back to Southern Virginia, and it'll be Ella Thomas handling it, the sophomore from Mesa, Arizona. And that'll be blocked by number 24, Samantha Ferrer, who's been very much involved defensively so far. We'll have another free kick opportunity here for Southern Virginia. Looks like it'll be a corner kick. Now just a little too far inside. No one really had a chance of getting to that one, so it'll go back to Hollins. Great pass to Winterton's got a one-on-one chance against Busani. Busani gets there in time. Well done. Diving on the ground, getting to the ball. That's what we want out of a goalkeeper right there. Especially again in front of Winterton, right? With the power and energy that she has, I mean, that's putting yourself on the line. As Southern Virginia gets the ball back yet again. Winterton again. That hits the left pole there, not able to get it. And close shot there for number 17 for Southern Virginia, Mabel Harris. It just curved slightly to the right side. She had a great angle on the far right side of the net, not able to capitalize. Zoe Simotas handling that one. Got a chance for goal here. That's a little to the outside. Kicked too far to the right by number 2, Courtney Montez. I'd say this Southern Virginia defense has just been absolutely smothering so far this evening. It's been really fascinating to watch. Mabel Harris handling her own. And that was kicked out of bounds by number 4, Isabella Workman. And what a phenomenal header for goal for Southern Virginia University. We're trying to see the number on that one. I believe that was number 7. Once again, Mattia Murray. And she made that look absolutely effortless. She's just standing there, the ball comes right to her, hits with her head, no issue, goes to the net, make it 4-0 for the Knights. And Murray will be substituted out, getting a well-deserved break after her second goal in tonight's game. And also Mabel Harris will be substituted out as well. And again, the effortlessness of that header. I mean, that's harder than it looks, folks. If you don't know, those soccer balls are a little harder than they may appear. So that can hurt, but very impressive to say the least. And the great thing about this early lead, too, for Southern Virginia is, again, I mentioned their young roster before. They have a couple of upperclassmen leaders, but if you have a young roster and you get in a situation like this where you take a commanding lead early on, you get a chance to, you know, shake the rust off of your younger players. Get them in the game, get them involved, get them their first NCAA soccer action. Maybe possibly take some of those butterflies away, get some good work in so that they can build themselves up to be the leaders later on when they're upperclassmen. Another shot on goal. That one is off to the right side. Looks like that one was attempted by number 18, Abby Klussman, a freshman from Lenexa, Kansas. Ball will go back to Southern Virginia. Bring it back inbounds is number 4, Haley Gadd, or Haley Gadd, hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Pass from Gadd to Winterton. Great block from Busani. That was attempted by number 2, Courtney Montez. Try to get to the left bottom left corner, but Busani was ready for that one. Kicked crossfield to number 29. That is Madison Staples, sophomore from Hurricane, Utah. Beautiful moves. Winterton, one-on-one opportunity here. Just barely over the goal. All right, so from up here, that looked like a really fantastic shot. This is number 12, Jessica Alexander, the junior from Raleigh, North Carolina. And tripped up is number 12 for Southern Virginia. Being Lakin Hansen, freshman from Vernal, Utah. Haley Gadd will be kicking it in yet again. Almost perfectly executed. Winterton trying to get it back across to number 18, Abby Klussman. Just a little bit too far. That's a high kick there. I know it's the wrong sport, but why not? It's out of there. That was a little too high, out of the field. So go back to Hollins. So with just over 20 minutes left to play here in this half, Southern Virginia has a commanding 4-0 lead. It'll stay with Hollins. And it goes right back to Southern Virginia, and they're ready to set up offense yet again. Lakin Hansen on the far side. Busani is ready for it, though. It appears we'll have another corner kick here for Southern Virginia. Now, I mentioned it before, but I can guarantee you at halftime, Coach Kat Van Orden of Hollins University is going to address the fact that Southern Virginia has every single counted shot on goal in this game. Hollins has not had a single shot on goal so far. And when that happens, of course, you're going to not be in the lead. You're not going to have any points. You're not going to be beating anybody. So they got to correct that. They got to make sure they maintain possession. Got to keep the ball on Southern Virginia's side of the field and give their defense a breather. Whereas Southern Virginia, so far, you couldn't be happier with the progress you're seeing. We have a player for Hollins down on the field. That is number 15, Sophia Chiatti. Looks like she may have hit her head there. May have bonked her head with a Southern Virginia player. But she is back up on her feet. She is good to go. That just shows you the toughness of these young players. And that was number 4, Isabella Workman, getting in there. And this is the deepest that Hollins has had it in Southern Virginia territory all night long so far. And again, when you're down by 4 and you have these very limited opportunities, you have to take advantage of every single one of them. And they made that one a little too easy for Southern Virginia. As that was saved by number 1 goalkeeper Olivia Neild, freshman from Farmington, Utah. And just like that, Aegon McKenna Winterton One-on-one opportunity, a beautiful move. Shot on goal, hit the top bar again. I think that's the third time that has happened to Winterton tonight. Usani able to save that one, but not before it was deflected by number 24, Ferrer. Again, the 5'5" sophomore doing a fantastic job defensively tonight. That'll be number 11, Madison Solis, the sophomore from Cypress, California. Doing the corner kick for Southern Virginia. We'll also have a substitution at the goalkeeping position for Hollins. Coming in will be number 0. That'll be Shover, the freshman from Camp Hills, Pennsylvania. Well defended by Hollins, but it'll stay with Southern Virginia. This is number 3 handling it. That is, of course, Brianna Knight. That shot is way too high. Attempted by number 35, Lindsay Clausen. We got another substitution here for Hollins University, and also for Southern Virginia, we have number 4, Haley Gadd, being substituted out. And coming in for Hollins is number 21, Milo Ramirez Pacheco. That kick a little too far, so it'll go back to Hollins and number 9, Luna Rodriguez, the senior from Live Oak, Florida. That'll probably be one of the easiest moments for our new goalkeeper here for Hollins. But it stays with Southern Virginia. They'll be kicking it back in around the 30-yard line if you're looking at it from football field standpoint. A good effort there from number 12 to try to save that and keep it in bounds. That being Lakin Hansen. McKenna Winterton able to disrupt that pass. We've got a good 3-on-3 opportunity here. Great pass. And a little bit of a wasted opportunity there as number 12, Lakin Hansen, not quite able to handle that one. It looked like she might have had a golden opportunity for a shot on goal, but it just slipped away. But it will stay with Southern Virginia as they will attempt a corner kick. Good pass. He's got Winterton receiving. And that was a fantastic save. Phenomenal save. That was, of course, number 0, T. Shover. Again, it looked like Winterton had an opportunity to have another header goal. Great toss from Shover. Not quite sure if that was supposed to be a shot or a pass, but either way, Lindsey Clausen's kick sails out of bounds and it will go back to Hollins. We have another substitution for Southern Virginia. Lindsey Clausen, who just kicked that one, will be substituted out. In place, it looks like, for number 17, Mabel Harris. Actually, excuse me, I believe that was number 18, Abby Klussman. Beautiful footwork there. Number 29, Madison Staples. Winterton trying to set something up. That pass got a little away from number 29, Madison Staples. Trying to kick that all the way across the field to number 12, I believe, Lakin Hansen. Just slightly overestimated the power of her leg there. Handled by number 3, Brianna Knight, trying to get it back into play. Winterton tries another shot. That is off to the right side. Handled now by number 4 for Hollins. I'd say, well, number 4 for Hollins, that of course is Katie Gardner-Parks. Has been absolutely great at playing physical all night long. She's been battling on the far side for possession of each kick that she gets. Putting in a lot of effort, a lot of work. And all night long, she's been battling with Southern Virginia's number 26, that being Kaylee Wardle. Great pass from Winterton. Kicks back to Winterton. She has a one-on-one opportunity here. And just off the left side, Winterton still on the ground after that one. Looks like just a little shaken up on that one, but she is back up and at it. She had a great one-on-one opportunity, but it looked like she had a little bit of a hard time getting a handle of that ball as she is substituted out. In her place will be number 16, Elizabeth Crawford, the freshman from Lexington, Kentucky. Mishandled pass there from Abby Klussman. That'll go out of bounds off the head of number 3, Brianna Knight. Just under 7 minutes left to play in this half. Score still stands at 4-0 in favor of Southern Virginia. And another thing about having this great early on lead is it gives you a chance to really focus on the little things and not worry so much about the scoreboard. Just fine-tune the little tweaks that maybe you're seeing off with your offense so far. Maybe get some passes just a little bit more accurate. Work on getting yourself better set up. Again, a lot of coaches in this situation, it's not a blowout lead so far, but it's a substantial lead enough to where you can basically treat it like a sort of practice. Try some things out. Substitute in some players, as Southern Virginia has been doing so far tonight. Some good work here from Brianna Knight, bringing it to the near side. And that shot will go wide right. That is off the foot of number 18, Abby Klussman. A great pass from Knight to Klussman, but not able to capitalize. Kicking it back into play for Hollins will be number 12, Jessica Alexander. Great effort there. Running in there was number 16, I believe, for Southern Virginia. That is Elizabeth Crawford. Trying to pass up ahead in the field, but that will not do. It goes out of bounds on Southern Virginia. And again, with just 4 minutes left to play in this half, again, I'll mention one more thing that Hollins will definitely be talking about at halftime, is making sure that you get the ball on the other side of the field and you keep it there. You maintain possession. You make sure that you make passes that Southern Virginia can't easily get into the lanes of. Because one thing Southern Virginia has done really well is gotten those passing lanes, like just there with Brianna Knight, able to read the passes very easily. You got to be a little more deceptive with your passes. Make sure that you can maintain possession. And again, give your defense a break. Because you look at some of the defenders for Southern Virginia, they've had very little to do tonight. They haven't had to do a whole lot because, again, their offense has just been doing a great job at maintaining possession and getting it back whenever it goes back to Hollins. And, of course, that's the reason why Southern Virginia right now at the moment has all the momentum and, of course, the lead. An incredible showcase of speed there. Look, that was number 12, Lakin Hansen, just speeding in there. Making everyone else that was running after the ball look like they were standing still. My goodness. And in fact, it wouldn't surprise me with that speed that she was a multi-sport athlete. We have several students like that here at Southern Virginia University, some that do sports like soccer or lacrosse or football, and then they also do track and field. We have a lot of jack-of-all-trades here on campus. Got another opportunity here for Southern Virginia. An attempted pass that was from number 18, Abby Klussman, not able to get it through the legs of, I believe, number 17, Zoe Simotas. Actually, excuse me, that was number 12, Jessica Alexander, defending on that one. So another corner kick from Southern Virginia. That coming from number 28, Annalise Huber, the junior from Henderson, Nevada. And that ball is going to sail way off. That came off her foot probably the very right side of her foot. Didn't quite hit like she wanted to. And I mentioned what Hollins is going to talk about at halftime. On the flip side, if you're Southern Virginia, you're going in there and you're making sure, hey, we have all the momentum right now. We have 4 goals on the board. We have a lot of shots on goal. Let's keep it that way. Let's keep up the energy, keep up the momentum, make sure we keep that attack mentality of going after the ball. Let's not get complacent. Now we're just under a minute left in this half. The ball will go back to Hollins. Southern Virginia doing a great job of playing to the last second here in this half. It could be very easy to just simply relax, lay back. There's only a minute, what could possibly be done, but instead they're keeping the attack mentality up. May have another shot on goal here before the buzzer's up. And that kick is blocked. A great attempt to the last second, but it will not go in as we reach halftime of today's match between Southern Virginia and Hollins University. The score stands 4-0. And so with that, we will convene here for this first half. We will join you when second half action starts. Welcome back to the action here at Knight Stadium for this women's soccer exhibition match between Hollins University and your Southern Virginia University Knights. As you can tell by the score, it is 4-0 in favor of Southern Virginia. Southern Virginia has done a great job of maintaining possession of the ball, keeping the offensive pressure going on Hollins, and As a result, they have every single shot on goal that has been attempted in tonight's game. And when that happens, of course, your team is going to be in the lead. And so, again, as I mentioned in the first half, Hollins University no doubt was talking about the fact that they need to get to the other side of the field. They need to keep the ball on Southern Virginia's side, give their defenders a little bit of a break, and make sure that they can get their own shots on goal, or else this game is just going to be more of the same. Whereas Southern Virginia, again, after that first half, you're feeling really good about yourself. You're very energetic. You have a lot of momentum. You're ready to go and to continue the momentum you had in the first half. And one thing I'm excited to see is McKenna Winterton back on the field for Southern Virginia. She was responsible for half the goals that are on the scoreboard for Southern Virginia and just did a great job of applying the pressure offensively. And she was subbed out for a lot of the second half of the first half of this game, simply because Southern Virginia had reached 4 points. She needed a good breather, and so they brought in some younger players to get some experience in this game. Again, like I mentioned, when you have scores that is 4-0, you have that opportunity. Get the younger players in there, get the butterflies out of the way, make sure they know that they are on the field at an NCAA Division III game, and make sure they get that experience. And so it looks like Southern Virginia will start off with the ball in this half as Hollins started the first half off. And again, the main thing that I would like to see from Hollins is just for them to keep the ball on Southern Virginia's side, maintain possession for at least a little bit longer, make sure they know they can have those good passing lanes, make sure they don't make their passes so easily readable, because again, Southern Virginia just had a lot of energy and were really good at getting them into those passing lanes and disrupting the flow of Hollins' offense. Southern Virginia pulling it back. Good kick out to number 2, Courtney Montez, excuse me. A great pass ahead. It's got a 3-on-2 opportunity. Winterton here with the kick. A easy save. Looks like that was number 1, Kat Usani, in again for Hollins University. And it goes back to Southern Virginia. Again, a lot of what happened in the first half was Southern Virginia basically having a shot on goal, either went in or went out, and then getting possession right back. It'll be a corner kick here for Southern Virginia. Corner kick duties, we have number 15. That is Rachel Bodkin, the freshman from Kaysville, Utah. That's fielded by Winterton. A beautiful cross-body kick. That is another goal from McKenna Winterton. Extends the lead to 5-0. My goodness, she found the open lane. A powerful kick to the bottom left side of the goal. Again, Southern Virginia doing more of what they did at the beginning of the first half. Great passes, great footwork, getting yourself open, getting yourself available for a great shot and extending that lead. And here's the replay of that beautiful goal from McKenna Winterton. Again, she had the header goal in the first half. She has that kick right there, just doing a fantastic job of applying that offensive pressure on Hollins and it paying dividends with those goals. Ball taken back again by Southern Virginia. And another attempt. That kick is going to go a little too high there for Southern Virginia. It'll go back to Hollins. That kick was attempted by number 35, Lindsay Clausen. And I think overall the best way that you can describe Southern Virginia's play tonight, even in just an exhibition game, is the aggressiveness. You know that Rob Dahl preached that this whole week leading up to this game. You have to be aggressive. You have to want it. You have to go after the ball like it's a family member. Go after it and make sure that it is yours and get those shots on goal, and they have executed that beautifully tonight. Some more aggressive play there from Southern Virginia. That's number 17, Mabel Harris. Attempted that one again off. Harris with it once again. She was up against 3 defenders and still able to come away with it. That kick is way high, attempted by number 2. That's Courtney Montez. This will be handled by number 12, Jessica Alexander for Hollins. Intercepted by Southern Virginia yet again. You got Harris here. A good opportunity there for Hollins yet again, taken away by Southern Virginia. Again, the hustle has just been so impressive on the night's end tonight. Winterton's lining it up. She thought she had someone coming in. And Busani jumping in there. I believe she may have blocked that with her head there for a moment. That was an impressive save. Actually, excuse me, that is not Busani. That is number 0, Shover. She seems slightly shaken up by that block, but she seems to be all right. Some great passing work from Southern Virginia. Pass is a little behind for Harris. And that shot is going to be blocked by Shover. Shover in a little bit of trouble as that's going to go in for Southern Virginia. Trying to see who that goal was made by. That makes it 6-0 in favor of the Knights.
Goal scored by number 7, Mattia Murray.
Looks like it was scored by number 7, Mattia Murray, freshman from Saratoga Springs, Utah. Again, another situation where not everything worked perfect for Southern Virginia, but Mattia was right there at the right place at the right time and able to kick it in. And honestly, for Hollins, Shover had tried to make the play. She had gotten too far away from the net, and it cost her. And here's the replay for that play right there. Again, Mattia Murray, again, responsible for that goal. This is one of the first times in tonight's game where a Southern Virginia University goalkeeper has even touched the ball. Got McKenna Winterton once again, one-on-one opportunity. Left side, and that's going to be another goal for Southern Virginia. Winterton is on fire tonight. And again, utilizing her speed, the handling of the ball. I mean, just a fantastic job from Winterton. And we got the replay for that play as well. Again, Winterton having a great one-on-one chance, going off to the left side and executing that crossbody kick perfectly. Just a beautiful shot from McKenna Winterton. Ball taken back by Southern Virginia yet again. Winterton wasn't liking how that was looking, so she kicks it back out. A great pass to Winterton, a 1-on-2 situation. Great handling, another attempt. That one's a little too high off the football field goal post. But the spin move was absolutely fantastic. A great setup for a shot on goal. You've seen a lot of great footwork from the forwards for Southern Virginia tonight. Great defensive play there by number 12, Jessica Alexander. Able to stop that play in its tracks. Winterton takes it to the far right side, and that's going to be knocked out of the field and into the forest. It'll stay with Southern Virginia, though. Well, the corner kick here from number 15 for Southern Virginia, that being Rachel Bodkin. Passes a little too far, but still handled from Southern Virginia. Another shot, and that's going to go in. Another goal for your Southern Virginia University Knights. We're trying to see who was responsible for that one.
Goal scored by number 4, Haley Gadd.
Looks like it was number 4, Haley Gadd, responsible for that score. And we got the replay of that score for you on your screen. And Haley Gadd kicking into the far right corner, and there was a defender for Hollins there in that position, but wasn't quite expecting that shot in her direction. Ball taken back by Southern Virginia yet again. Not before we saw some pretty fancy footwork there from Isabella Workman. So I'd say a pretty efficient night for Southern Virginia's offense so far. You had 4 points in the first half, 4 points in the second half. I mean, as a coach, you don't really want or need anything more than that. So at this point, again, Southern Virginia's just going to keep that pressure, keep that aggressiveness, and just try to fine-tune some things in their offense. Winterton attempts another shot again. That one will be stopped by Shover. Looks like that'll stay with Southern Virginia. Looked like Hollins had a chance to handle that with number 27, Imani Jackson. But Southern Virginia closed in on that very quickly. Pass to Winterton. Another shot at goal, but that's going to go off to the right side. And luckily for Hollins, because she caught Shover coming out towards her. That was slightly mishandled by number 17, Mabel Harris. So it goes back to Hollins. And that shot was a little far, but attempted by Lindsay Clausen. Stopped in its tracks by Shover. Great hustle here from number 10, Morgan Romney. It's going to be a shot on the left side, but just out of reach of the goal. I think another thing to note about Southern Virginia tonight is they haven't been too aggressive to a fault. They've been taking what they've been given. They've been executing their offense. They're not trying anything outrageous. They've just been aggressive according to what their offense is supposed to be set up as. They've done a great job of maintaining that composure. Taken away again by Romney. I believe that was an intended pass from Mabel Harris, which just went a little bit too far. I believe she's intending that pass for number 7, Mattia Murray. We got a substitution here for Southern Virginia. That means number 2, Courtney Montez, will be leaving the game, and in her place will come in number 11, Madison Solis, the sophomore from Cypress, California. Harris got a shot. That is blocked by Shover. Tries to pass it back in bounds. And Mattia Murray is kind of robbed there at the last second. Looked like she might have a chance to score there. Mabel Harris doing a great job of fighting for that possession. Another shot from Harris, and once again blocked by Shover. I mean, despite the points that Southern Virginia's been able to put up on the board against Hollins, you got to commend their goalkeepers, Capusani and T. Shover. They've done an absolutely fantastic job at trying to cover everything that's thrown their way. There's been so many shots on goal that it's hard to catch all of them, but they have done a fantastic job of putting forth that effort tonight. Southern Virginia taking it back into their own territory. Mabel Harris and McKenna Winterton. A chance to set up something here. That's Romney chasing after. That's going to go a little too far out of her reach. It'll go back to Hollins. And as we have a substitution, I want to remind you folks watching at home that not only will we have women's soccer here on this channel for Southern Virginia, we'll have every single sport that we cover with live streams here. It's going to be a fantastic season of sports. We have great returning rosters for multiple different teams, from lacrosse, both men's and women's soccer, men's and women's. Coming up, we also have football, we have volleyball. All the sports here at Southern Virginia University will be covered by this program, and we are very excited for this coming season of sports. And in fact, we have the first home game of the football season here this week for Southern Virginia. It's going to be a very exciting time on campus. Looked like it might be a great opportunity there for number 12 of Southern Virginia, Lakin Hansen. That one's going to go a little too far as well. You're starting to see a little bit of sloppiness seep in here. As again, both teams have been putting forth a lot of energy out there tonight, a lot of effort, so you're starting to see that fatigue start to set in. In fact, I mentioned upcoming sports this Thursday. We have men's soccer versus Everett University here in Buena Vista, Virginia at 1 p.m. And then later that evening, football versus Wilmington, coming all the way from the state of Ohio, here in Buena Vista at 7 p.m. that night. So just a couple of things to look forward to with Southern Virginia athletics. Another goal for Southern Virginia. That is Mabel Harris. She has made a lot of shots on goal tonight and gets that one to fall through. So the score extends to 9-0 with just over 25 minutes left to play in this game. And here's the replay of that goal. These girls for Southern Virginia have done an absolute great job tonight. They should be absolutely proud of themselves for the great shots they're able to have on goal. Just a fantastic shot. So now possession will go back to Hollins. And then this next week for Southern Virginia Athletics here on Tuesday at 6 p.m. we have women's volleyball versus the University of Lynchburg at the arena on campus at Southern Virginia University. And again, all those games that I mentioned will be here on this channel for your viewing pleasure. And also, folks, do not forget to like and subscribe if you want to keep tabs on Southern Virginia athletics, whether it be you're watching for your child's sake or your brother or sister's sake, or you're just simply a fan of the university's athletics in general. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and not miss out on any of the action. Romney bringing it back across midfield. That pass is intended for Winterton, but that goes a little bit too far. All the way down to Shover. Winterton handling it around the 30-yard line. Good pass onto the inside. That is off the right side, off the foot of number 12, Lakin Hansen. Had a beautiful opportunity there, a wide open opportunity, but just slightly off the side of her foot. And like I mentioned, with Southern Virginia having a lot of the momentum and being able to bring in a lot of young players to get some opportunities in here, you kind of have a similar mindset when it comes to Hollins University. You have to make sure that you make sure your players are staying aggressive and take some opportunity to learn from things that have gone wrong for you in this game. Make sure you keep up that aggression, get in the face of the Southern Virginia Knights, and just get up there and play some great defense and just not let up. And exhibition games like this are also just a great way to find out what maybe your weakness is, what your strengths are, and also helps the coaches, especially first-time head coach, that being Kat Van Orden, to know exactly what to focus on with your specific team. Because each team is going to have their own set of weaknesses and strengths, and you're going to have to focus on different things week after week in practice. So this is a great showing for her and her team of what they need to do. Got another opportunity here for Southern Virginia. And it's taken away by Hollins. Kicking it back out, that's to number 26, Kaylee Wardle. Great pass by Mabel Harris, and that shot is going to go a little high as the bounce was high off the pass. But that was a great effort to be there on the part of number 29, Madison Staples. That's going to be knocked out of bounds by number 18, Abby Klessman. Winterton's got another chance at a shot on goal here. And that's going to go just barely under the top bar for another goal from McKenna Winston. McKenna Winston just saying, you know what, I'm just going to take this one-on-one, high shot. She's been trying to get a high shot on the goal all night long, and a lot of times she's hit the top bar, but able to knock it in that time. And here's the replay of that goal from McKenna Winterton. McKenna, again, just putting out a lot of effort tonight, doing a great job of being where she needs to be, and just utilizing her great footwork and her speed to get those fantastic shots on goal like that one. So now the score stands 10-0 in favor of Southern Virginia with just under 18 minutes left to play. That's a beautiful takeaway there by Abby Klessman. Gives the Knights another chance, but that's knocked away there by number 7. That is Chloe Hamill. Doing a great job of potentially stopping another shot on goal. Hamill in the way of that pass yet again. And that one's going to roll out of bounds on Southern Virginia. So it'll go back to Hollins. Madison Salas kicked that back out because she didn't like what she saw. pass, I believe, was intended for Winterton, but that's going to be an easy save from Shover. I believe we'll see a bunch of substitutions here in the next couple of moments for both Hollins and Southern Virginia. Again, like I mentioned before, getting a lot of the younger players in there, get them some experience on the field. Ooh. An attempted shot there from Madison Sauls, but at the last second she tried to back out and try to kick it between the legs of the defender. And she got tripped up in the process, but it looks like she is back on her feet. And that shot is going to be easily blocked by Shover. Southern Virginia has also just done a great job of tracking down the ball on those kicks from Shover or any other goalie that has been in there for Hollins during tonight's contest. Just done a great job of anticipating, getting to where it's going to be, and that's one of the key reasons why they've been able to maintain possession of the ball or keep it on Hollins' side of the field for so long tonight. Got another potential shot here. And that's going to be kicked in by number 12. That is Lakin Hansen able to get that save there, as was first attempted by number 8, Jenna Garrett.
Goal for the Knights.
That'll be another goal for Southern Virginia, extend the lead to 11-0 with just under 14 minutes left to play. And here's the replay of that one. Again, a fantastic job there from both, again, Jenna Garrett and then Lakin Hansen able to get that play to go. Lakin Hansen being Johnny on the spot, or I guess Janie on the spot in this situation. Like I mentioned before, we're seeing some substitutions. In place of McKenna Winterton is number 13. That is Marcy Merrill, freshman from Greenville, Tennessee. Giving McKenna Winterton a very well-deserved break. She has had a phenomenal game tonight, leading the charge offensively and getting a couple of goals herself. Got another chance here for Jenna Garrett. And a missed attempt there from number 16, Elizabeth Crawford. Go back to Hollins, taken on the far side of the field. Taken back by Southern Virginia. Kicked all the way back. This is 0-0 in the game for goalkeeper for Southern Virginia. That is Alyssa Truman, senior from Raleigh, North Carolina. Attempting a crossfield pass, and that's going to be a goal for Southern Virginia. It looks like that Capusani had gotten there and stopped it at the last second, but it'll be a goal for Southern Virginia, as Southern Virginia able to rebound and get that kick in goal. Beautiful shot for Southern Virginia. Here's the replay of that one as well. We are trying to determine exactly who was responsible for that goal. But regardless, the score stands now 12-0 in favor of the Knights. Beautiful footwork here. My goodness, breaking ankles as number 2, Courtney Montez. It's a great passing for Southern Virginia. That'll be another shot. That'll be another goal for Southern Virginia. That is number 13, Marcy Merrill. Just from multiple players for Southern Virginia, just great footwork, great passing, beautiful execution all together, and extends the lead to 13-0 with 9.5 minutes remaining. Replay of that beautiful shot. Again, just taking the one-on-one opportunity and the beautiful shot right down the middle, able to execute that one perfectly. And again, I cannot explain enough and praise enough the handling of number 2, Courtney Montez, that kicked off that possession, able to weave in and out between 2 defenders, breaking ankles in the process, which of course would end up leading to Merrill's goal. Just so many things worked well for Southern Virginia. I mean, you can't say anything negative about the possession. Again, Southern Virginia keeping up that aggressiveness here in this second half. There's Jenna Garrett on the near side. These defenders in the back end for Southern Virginia have just done a great job of building a wall on the back. The Hollins has just barely been able to penetrate all game long. Another opportunity for shot on goal for Southern Virginia. That one kicked out of there by Busani. Busani able to get another easy save there. But again, Southern Virginia keeping up the attack, keeping up the pressure on the offensive side. Some more beautiful footwork there from Courtney Montez. Ball goes back to Hollins. Just 6.5 minutes remaining here in this exhibition match. That intended pass from Haley Gadd just kind of got away from her and ended up in the hands of Busani. And once again, folks, I want to remind you of the upcoming events here at Southern Virginia University on this network. On Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, we have the men's soccer team of Southern Virginia taking on Averett University. Again, 1 p.m. Eastern Time here on this network. And then later on that same day, again Thursday, September 1st, we'll have the football team of Southern Virginia taking on Wilmington, again all the way from Ohio, here at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on this network. So again, if you want to see those games or any other games that happen here at Southern Virginia, be sure to like and subscribe, and be sure to ring that notification bell so you get notified every single time we go live with one of these sports events. That's going to go wide off to the side. At this point, you have 4.5 minutes left remaining. You may take another couple shots on goal, but mainly at this point, just work on passing it around. Make sure to chew the clock. And that's going to go way to the outside. That is off the foot of number 2, Courtney Montez. We're seeing several more substitutions here for Southern Virginia. That kick is going to go out of bounds and back to Southern Virginia's possession. Garrett's got it, 1-on-1 chance. A great save there from Busani, able to get their hand up there to extend, get it up and over the net. Fantastic block there, fantastic work. We'll have a corner kick here for Southern Virginia. Kicking will be number 29, Madison Staples. Well defended by Hollins. Another shot well defended. That time it was blocked by number 21. That is Milo Ramirez Pacheco. The sophomore from Ashburn, Virginia. We'll have a corner kick from the other side of the field for Southern Virginia. Busani just running in there and getting that out of the way. Just no regard for human life whatsoever, sacrificing her body, getting it out there and getting the ball out of there as soon as possible. Fantastic work from Busani. This is Garrett tracking it down, getting it back into play. I like the fact that Southern Virginia, they're not just letting up. They're keeping their foot on the gas pedal. They're keeping the aggressiveness. And they keep taking shots. They're going to take every opportunity that they can. Because, again, in exhibition matches like this, you need to utilize every second that you can to make yourself better, figure out what works, what doesn't. Now we've reached 1 minute of play. Busani jumping in there, getting on that ball. So again, overall, a fantastic outing for Southern Virginia's women's soccer team, doing a great job. Again, I said the word being aggressive so many times tonight, but that's the best way that I can explain it. They've been very aggressive offensively, doing a great job of building that wall with the defenders in the back, make sure that Hollins really didn't have any opportunities for shots on goal tonight, and that is all credit to just their hustle, their hard work, their willingness to be able to play as a team. And great passing, great footwork, just pretty much everything that you could have done right tonight, Southern Virginia did right. So again, going out of this, again, just having all the confidence in the world going into your main schedule. Got me an exciting time to be on the soccer team for sure. As in the last couple of seconds, they're going to try for one more shot. But that'll be the game, as the final score will be 13-0 in favor of Southern Virginia University. Again, a fantastic outing for these Knights. Just doing a great job of being aggressive, going for it. And again, I'll remind you once more, we have several different events happening this week, both of them happening on Thursday. At 1 p.m. Eastern Time, men's soccer versus Averett University here in Buena Vista. Then later on that night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Southern Virginia football versus Wilmington, again here on this network. So once again, I'll remind you, until you do it, be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you do not miss out on all the night's sports action here on this channel. My name is Dawson Weidrich. Thank you so much for joining me tonight for this contest, and we'll see you next time, and go Knights.